my microphone is working as it should be, because this morning I don't know, like I had a headset on my phone and I think something went wrong with regards to the headset microphone and my microphone. But yo, what's up, everyone? Good to have you here, and it's time for some more Elliott wave analysis. It is working well. Okay, that's something that I like to hear. Thanks for the feedback, QZ World. So let's go to the chart. We have some bullish CVD divergences on the chart. The bearish CVD divergences have played out. So as you can see, still not in the office, still not have my desk set up. I really gotta do that after this stream, really. But yo, what's up, everyone? So here we are, making sure you're on the screen as well. Say hi, and let's observe price action together and do some Elliott wave analysis, shall we? Hike, welcome. Jeroen, maybe a band-aid. Mike, congrats on the move. Hope getting settled goes smoothly. Yeah, I mean, so far so good. I'd say everything is going well, and we're getting on our feet here. Of course, there's a couple of things to do, but no, everything is going very smooth. So yeah, we happy. Yanis, welcome. Thanks for asking, by the way, Mike. QZ World, thanks for the feedback again. Welcome. Leva, later in the past. Adam, Christian, maybe a band-aid. Get some tea, man. Don Ernesto. Kieran, welcome everyone. Summit, a light blue. There you go. The second time ever I see a light blue logo in the stream. Nice. Welcome to the light blue squad, Summit. 12 months of being a member. That's incredible. That's incredible. Not the quality as usual. Okay, so yeah, but it's clear and audible. Okay, man, I may have to check what's up. I mean, I have a couple of filters here, but I haven't changed these filters. And there we go. Wait. Maybe it works now. Is this better? It was on it had the wrong device. Let me know. Wait, where's chat? Oh, okay. Is this an improvement now? Audio is much better. Found a problem. Okay, yeah, I think the switch must have happened this morning when I put on my headphones. It automatically connects with the laptop and it messes around with like the audio settings. So I guess this works. Cool. Okay, very nice. Thanks for the feedback, everyone. And thanks for letting me know, Arman. Really cool. Thanks for letting me know that the quality wasn't as good. So now we found the problem. Market Mike, how you doing? He's a psychologist, everyone. He was there yesterday as well. Second day on the channel, I believe. I created a Bitcoin pump. Bullish CVDs. I've created it, but it's good to see the bullish CVDs here locally, almost playing out if we take the high at least. Jeroen, yeah, thanks for letting me know as well. Yeah, but we fixed it. Thanks, Jeroen and Arman. Brahim NTT, welcome. Kieran, no cussing in chat. Cursing, you mean? No, we don't curse here, right? Serega, what's up? Yasfir, looking forward to the analysis. Yeah, we're going to start, yo. Looking forward to doing some Elliott wave analysis on the local chart here as well. Hoshi, what's up? Serdar, Stigo, perfect. Cool. Thanks, everyone. Thank you. Pierre, how you doing? Bonjour. It's a French name, no? Mawitz, what's up? Bilyamin, Aaron Bavel. Oh. Osman, press like. Cheers, man. Where's the high on your chart right now? What do you mean, Donovan? You mean the high here? If you're talking about the local high, then it's 56.3K here. GB28, hope you have a great day as well. RK, what's up? Guys, I have a question. Sorry. I have a question. So, by the way, before I ask you the question, let me at least show you this. So over here we had the bullish CVDs, right? The bearish CVDs locally played out, but now we have this bullish CVD, right? And we're about to pretty much take the high. I think we hit the 886 now as well. Yeah, we hit the 886. So pretty much about to take the high. So let's see. And of course, from an Elliott wave analysis, if we are looking for a diagonal, then preferably we take that high. And there's always the option of having a finished diagonal here, one very shallow for a 2 and a 3 up. But we'll get to the analysis. But at least we have some bullish CVDs, as we have some structure as well, which is of course what we like to see, right? So with regards to the probabilities, almost here taking out that high. Okay, the question. You just kept saying the high. Oh, sorry. Yeah, so this one here, 56.3K. Yeah, that's the one we're talking about. We now took it, I think. Yeah, we took it. Question. So when I started the channel, I uploaded at 7 a.m., at 1 p.m. and 7 p.m. Central European time. I try to be very consistent with that. I noticed that it's very difficult at the time because life happens, you know, so I changed it to morning, afternoon, and evening. And I understand that consistency is helpful in a way, but I would need to change the times. But what I can at least try to aim for is to upload a morning update, let's say between X and Y time, and then do the live stream at about 2:30. That's usually the best time to go live, like 2:30 p.m. Central European time. And then the evening update between like 7 and 8, but before 8 p.m. So the question is, do you think that having more set times will be better for you, or is it okay to have morning, afternoon, evening? So again, the reason I went from very strict to the hour times to morning, afternoon, evening is because of it just creates a lot of stress if I have stuff going on or you know yeah. But I think it is at least an idea to be more consistent, and hopefully it can help you in a way. Aaron, so let me know. Aaron, welcome to Gold, man. What a start of the stream. Cheers, Aaron. Make sure to fill in the form, and I'll get you sorted. Thanks, Jeroen. That's the form indeed. Cheers, man. Bonjour le Niçoise. Niçoise. My French is not yet that great. Hey, Christian, what's up? Osman. I read an article on TradingView News that said and showed a chart showing how historically big wicks created big volatility get filled within a few days. Yes. So based on... So the question is, what's a big wick? Because the article that you've read, so I don't know about the article. However, something that I said mostly back in the day, I don't really say it anymore, is if you have a very big wick, they tend to get filled. But then the question is always, what's big? And at the same time, you also tend to end a certain structure with a high amount of volume and a wick. So the question then becomes, based on data, what is a big wick? What is a small wick? And when do we fill the wick and when do we not fill the wick? So it's and then you need to collect a lot of data. And for me, it was mainly an observation, like, hey, if you have a very big wick, they tend to get filled. But what's big and what's not big? So I don't really talk about that anymore. Also knowing that you can end corrective structures with a big wick, right? So for example, at 24K, I remember that Bybit here had a very big wick. One of the only charts that had a very big wick to like 24K or something. But look at my chart, there's no wick at all. So that's a little bit of an anomaly. So you would say like, well, that Bybit wick, right, being an anomaly, you would then say, okay, it's a big wick, so the probabilities would then be higher to fill that wick, right? If we would use that article, let me go to Bybit here, so I can show you. So here's the wick, right? You can see it at the bottom, of my channel, right? So this is the wick, and it is definitely a bigger wick. Now, then you would say, okay, we'd fill that wick, right? It's an anomaly, but we continued. Now, based on probabilities, you would expect to fill wicks eventually. I mean, this was a big wick. Eventually, we filled it, arguably a big one here. We filled this as well. But if you go to a, let's go to the weekly, I suppose. Weekly, yeah. Maybe a weekly. Look, here's a big wick that you didn't fill. Of course, here you have a wick that did fill. Here's a wick that you filled. You know, here's a wick that you filled. So I don't really, here's another wick that you filled. So I guess what you want to do is collect data and statistics about it. Of course, if we do move up here, this wick is going to be absolutely massive on the weekly. On the daily, we of course have quite a sizable wick as well, but at the same time, you also want to end on high volume and have wicks at times, right? So yeah, it's not really something I use in my analysis, and actually not anymore, I should really say, because I couldn't really use it. So it's not really something that I tracked a lot of data on. It's just an observation, but I only want to give you stuff and talk to you about stuff that I actually have data on and know stuff about. So I removed that from really talking about. So yeah. Do as you like every time Bitcoin crashes. Yeah, sorry about that. Missed the 3 uploads today. Yeah, so the reason we didn't have 3 uploads a day is because of moving. So I was quiet, of course, for a few days, but I prepared everyone, of course, with the posts that I wrote. And yesterday was 2 because we went to Monaco in the evening. But during the week, the update should always be 3 times a day, as usual. Only in if I have something to do, I'll make sure to update you if I can't. And in the weekend, it will be a bit more random because we, of course, want to explore the area. But generally, in the weekend, price goes sideways. If something happens, I always upload. The weekend should probably be like 1 update in the morning on Saturday, Sunday, and then probably 1 in the evening, but then not in the afternoon, because then in the afternoon, I after the morning update, I can go out and about and experience a little bit of the area with my wifey. Before 9 would be great. Yeah. Thanks, guys. Yeah. Devoted chartists. That's the word, artist. I like that, really. I like that. You pick. Thanks, Bram. Yeah, cheers, guys. Bro, what's up? Okay, shall we start? Gotta love the timing, I know. We always go live at the right time. At least we try to. So, what's up, bro? How you doing, man? Pookie. Monaco was great. I'll talk about that in a second. I actually first want to get the analysis done. Kieran, have been killing it. Yo, it's what we like to hear. Good job, Kieran. Make sure to always have your own plan and strategy, right? You can use confluences from other places, but always make your plan. And I'm happy to hear you've been killing it, man. That's what we like. That's what we like to hear. Keep it up. You were about to say fiance again? No. Wife. Okay. Let's start. 1 second before we start. Let me organize my screen here, because I want to have the chat on the screen. Right, so give me 5 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Right, there we go. Okay, I'm organizing my stuff. Pop, a little bit to the left here. Just to make sure that, because I still have only one screen and I want to make sure I can see chat. So we do a little bit this and then a little bit that, and then we should be pretty good. No, yeah, okay, this is fine. That's fine. So cool. Okay. Let us start, and we're gonna start on the weekly time frame. Right. I always I have a random volume profile here. I always like to start on the higher time frames, especially in live streams, because in live streams I can elaborate more. So I can explain a bit more and answer more questions, of course, about the analysis on different time frames as well. 1 second here. What happened to my... Oh, wait, this is Bybit. I was looking at the object tree and I was like, wait, where's my analysis? For a second I thought everything was lost, but nope, here we are. Yeah, the bullish CVDs played out. Very, very nice. Oh, and look at this, a big green candle, but look at the yellow CVD moving down. So there's definitely the bullish CVDs played out, but if price continues up, you want to continue seeing the waves with bullish CVDs, but we'll get there, right? Take it step by step. We're first going to start with the weekly, move to the daily, and then lower time frames, right? By the way, thanks guys for the feedback with the upload times, and cheers, everyone pretty much has the same thought. Okay, let's get this started. Time for some Elliott wave analysis. What's the time? How long are we live for the timestamp? Okay, 21:40. Let's start minute 22 pretty much. Cater uploads to the time zone. Yeah, I mean, I can see that most of the people are live or online afternoon, and the biggest audience, it's in the morning after 6 and in the evening before 9 or something. Like, it's very wide, but yeah, maybe you have to jump into the stats. Okay, let's go. On the weekly time frame, everyone, we are looking for a 5-wave impulsive structure that you see on the chart here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, this is arguably your most bearish, bullish scenario, if I say it like that. Because in this particular scenario, you are looking for one more high in a wave 5, and that's then the end of your bull market. Right? And then you're going to be looking for another drop towards the downside. Your most bullish scenario is a double 1-2. But at the moment, I don't really like to talk about a double 1-2, 1-2, 1-2 until we take out the high and have the information of the push to the upside, right? So at the moment, the only one I really like to observe is this scenario here, where we then have a wave 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Common target for your wave 4. 23605 on the chart, taken from the low to the high of wave 3. Please make sure that if you do try to copy the charts, which I know many people do, that on a weekly time frame, right, I use the logarithmic chart and the fibs are set on log as well. So if your levels are not aligning with mine, just make sure you put it to log, the chart and the fibs, and you'll have the same levels as I have as well. The invalidation is 37.7K. That's the 0.618. Right? That's another target you want to see hit for a wave 4. And it is common for a wave 4 of a higher degree, being yellow, to overlap with wave 4 of a lower degree, being the green wave 4. And that's also what we have done, because we have hit this top. We hit this level over here with the low that we made on the chart locally. Right? So that's noteworthy at least. Time-wise, this wave 4 is fine. It's at least quite similar in length compared to wave 2. Most commonly, a wave 4 is longer than wave 2 in time. You see the vertical lines. These are fib times taken from the start to the end of 2 to the end of 3. 3 clicks, click 1, click 2, click 3 with the Fibonacci time tool. Right? And yeah, we didn't pass the 1-to-1. We actually made this low just before, but at least it's quite similar to 2, so that's fine. This is a trend channel, which is taken from the first time touching 30K to the all-time high to the low over here on the chart at about 25K. And looking at the trend channel, what you're doing with the trend channel, as it's called, is observing when do we get a wave 4. And the moment you break out of the channel, the probabilities increase that this is your wave 4 range. Now, as you can see, we broke out of the channel here, right? Even if it becomes a wick, we still manage to move outside of this channel, increasing the probabilities for your wave 4 here, and then a 1, 2, 3, 4, and a wave 5 towards the upside. And if we maybe a band-aid, cheers, man, thanks. GB28, send me. Give me your details in the membership form. If anyone can post that, maybe Jeroen or maybe a Band-Aid. Yeah, I'll bump you up to silver, because the gift is always bronze on YouTube. So I'll bump you up to silver. Maybe a Band-Aid, man. Thanks for doing that. That's really cool. Mr. Mod. He survived another hurricane in Florida, maybe a band-aid. So kept his head above the water. Starts delivering presents here in the chat. So we are looking for a wave 5. Now I quickly want to talk about targets for this wave 5 if this is the end of your wave 4, right? So we have different ways of calculating a target. First of all, trend-based SIP from the low to the high of 1 to the current low here that we have on the chart locally at about 49k, right? And then the 1-to-1 is a target for a wave 5. Now, as mentioned, there's 3 different ways. You can take a normal Fibonacci from the start to the end of your wave 4, toggle on the 1.236 to the 1.236. What did I say? The 1.618 to the 1.236 is what I mean. Also a target. And then you take a trend-based SIP from the low to the high of 3 to the low of 4. Right? If your wave 4 is finished, that is. And then you're looking for the 0.618. And these targets together give you an area, right? So you then make, I like to use these boxes, as you can clearly see. So what I then do is I put this box on my chart from the lowest level to the highest level. I remove the level in the middle, because these are irrelevant. And then these are the levels that I then make yellow because, color coded. And this is then the target area, right? So between 81.3K and 129K per Bitcoin, which of course is still quite a big target area. However, based on the local impulsive structure to the upside, we can get more accurate targets, right? We first need to wait for local price action to show us impulsive moves, right? We're looking for a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And as we move to the upside, we can get better, more accurate, smaller targets the more information we get. This is a weekly target, but eventually you go to the daily and your daily target is a little bit smaller and your 4-hour target is a bit smaller, and then the 1 hour, and that's how it goes. So this is at the moment the scenario that we keep an eye on, looking for that wave 5. I will actually put this in my folder, but I'll make it neat and nice and color coded later. But this is at the moment what we are looking for. Of course, if price does move to the downside a bit further, then we have to change this target area just ever so slightly. But we're going to talk about, is the low in, yes or no? That's the question on the thumbnail, and we always answer the questions on the thumbnails. So yeah, interesting, right? Interesting. I see a question here as well. What about the Fib base time with low after 12th of August? 12th of August. Oh, okay, yeah. So I know what you mean. Of course, commonly, wave 4 finishes after the 1-to-1 Fib time, which would then be finishing after the 12th of August, right? So most commonly, wave 4 is longer than wave 2, which means ending wave 4 after the 1-to-1. Now, that is common. It's, of course, not a must. We got very close to having the same amount of time as wave 2. But we also need the context of the local structure, right? And the context here is there is the potential for an ABC. We hit the wave C target area. Of course, there's still potential for a wave 4 here and another 5 to the downside. We're going to analyze this later. If we get that wave 4 here and another 5 down, then yeah, probably we're going to finish after the 12th of August. But it's also context, right? It's not a must that wave 4 is longer. It's just more common. No. BTC against USD made a 5-way upside on the 15. Interesting. Jouke, guys, chill. I gotta finish my analysis, yo. Jouke, welcome to Gold, man. Again, fill in the form that Jeroen posted up here, and I'll get you sorted. Welcome to the team. Welcome to Gold, yo. Yeah, the Gold Elliott wave channel in Discord is gonna be absolutely nuts. It's already super active. I'm very active here. I always read everything and I chat in here. But yo, everyone joining, make sure to fill in the form and we'll get you sorted, Jouke. Jeroen, maybe if you do send in the form during the stream, Jeroen will probably answer you by email. Jeroen uses my email to answer. So on the daily time frame, let's finish the analysis and then I'll get back to you guys, right? Thank you, Jouke. I have difficulty to finish the analysis. So we're looking for a 5-wave impulsive structure, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on a weekly time frame. It has the highest probability. There's no reason yet to think about bear markets. For that to happen, we need to take 38K pretty much, right? We need to go much, much lower. Now on a daily time frame, if we are then looking for that wave 4, right, after which we look for a wave 5 to the upside, your bullish scenario on the daily is a 3-wave corrective structure. A wave 4 always needs to be a 3-wave corrective structure. Here we have an ABC zigzag, a 5, a 3, and then a sharp C to the downside, which is another internal 5-wave structure. Your most common target for C is what you see on the chart, 52.6K to 41.9K, right? And your preferred area for support is the 1 to the 1.236, okay? 52.6K to 48.5K, maybe a band-aid made. So this is an important support area, and also it's an important target area. So of course, locally, there's always opportunities from a day trading perspective or a scalping perspective to short, right? But from a swing trading perspective, this area here is interesting to look for potential longs. It's not an automated long area, right? But it is an area where we can then observe the reaction after we hit it. We can observe local timeframes and local scenarios. And if we see what we want to see, okay, it's interesting, right? Where there's the potential for swing longs. Just like we said over here, right? When we were moving to the upside, 1 to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 5, that just before my road trip to France, by the way, the probabilities were higher to look for an impulse to end, a wave 5, and a move down. And there were 3 levels we kept an eye on. This was the first one over here at 69. Then we had 71 as well, and 72, right? So those were the 3 areas of interest for a potential end of an impulse and a move down. Now that is interesting for a potential swing setup to the downside. Of course, no financial advice, right? But I was part of this move to the downside myself, and then we observe what happens as price goes down. But now we enter interesting areas for potential upside again, right? So it's interesting to observe the local lower time frames. So the wave C target area here has been hit on top of big support on a weekly time frame. You know this by now, the value area high, right? Don't want to go in detail. So that is good to see. Proper reaction to the upside as well. It's also what we like to see. We do have some more support to the downside, just in case. Right, 44.3, 45.2, and 42.5, 42.8. No? So we should go to the lower time frame, but one thing I like to add is the volume. We have a 3-wave corrective structure, and we have this move ending on the highest amount of volume. It is quite common for a wave C or Y to end on a high amount of volume. A wave C, however, is a 5-wave impulsive move. Most commonly in a traditional impulse, your wave 3 has the highest amount of volume. But in bigger corrective structures, ending a structure on a high amount of volume is absolutely something that can happen, right? Now, even if there would be probabilities for a 4 and a 5, another low, and continue, we are at big support, right? We are in a target area for wave C. So, you know, everyone has their own plan and strategy, but let's say that from a swing trading's perspective, I am looking for longs myself. I'm not looking for shorts here. I'm looking for longs because we hit impressive support. We are at the target area for C, but I like to have confirmation. And what I mean with confirmation, that's something I'll be talking about in a second when we go to the lower time frame. To finish a wave C at the current low, we need to have a finished 5-wave structure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That is what you see on the chart right now, right? We need to end it here and then have another impulse up, correction, continuation. The only way to count an impulse down here is what I have on the chart. You can't count this differently because of your wave 3 and wave 4. So you have a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in your 1, then you have a 2, 3, 4, 5. Wave 3 is not allowed to be the shortest wave, so wave 1 and wave 5 can't be longer both than wave 3, right? So therefore this has to be your 4 and your 3, because here wave 3 is longer than wave 1. The 1-to-1 on the chart is taken from the start to the end of 1 to the end of 2, wave 3 wick below, and then wave 5 is your high volume move. to enter wave C. Now it is common for the high amount of volume to be in a wave 4, in a wave 3. So in the bearish scenario, 1, 2, 3, 3 has the highest volume, 4, 5. What I am waiting for with regards to confirmation, right, is the low in, yes or no? Well, we will analyze this structure in a second, but there's definitely something to say about the low is in. But if we move up to 59.2K, you invalidate a wave 4, invalidate a wave 1, 2, 3, 4, and another drop down in 5, and it will increase probabilities for more bullish scenarios, right? So 59.2K is very important from an Elliott wave point of view. On the 50-minute time frame, so I will summarize everything, by the way, at the end. Okay, I will summarize everything at the end. On the 50-minute time frame, if we are looking for bullish continuation, right, there is at the moment only two scenarios here that we can look for. Either a diagonal or a double 1-2. A normal impulse, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, doesn't work because of the overlap. So we either need to talk about diagonals here, right, or a multi 1-2. In both cases, you look for price to move up and hit 59.2K, right? This is your important level on the chart. Of course, you're not sniping the low, right? 59.2K, and price never goes up in a straight line per se, right? You always eventually get retracements. But 59.2 is an invalidation for 4, increasing probabilities for more bullish price action. So in this case, we're looking for a diagonal or a double 1-2. The diagonal is what you see on the chart here. We then have a wave 1, 2, 3. Look for 4 and 5. 4 is a little bit deep here. Let me actually check if this diagonal still works compared to the morning, because I didn't update it from there to there to there. Yes, so that works. So we have the contracting diagonal where we then want to see a wave 5, zigzag in 1, in 2, in 3, in 4, potentially for A, B, C. Okay, something I'm going to talk about in a second. I don't want to get in too much detail. But then we have 5 and we look for a move towards the downside, right? And after a diagonal, we look for this to be a wave 1/A, then 2, and continuation up. The invalidation can be removed because we took this high now, right? Your alternative is a double 1-2. So you have a wave 1 here, 2, and we look for another 1-2 continuation. But I don't really tend to look for double 1-2s just yet. I'm blabbing a lot. I need to stick with the highest probabilities here. Let me get to this on. I really need to summarize because everything was very clear in my head, but I had quite the moment before the stream, so I'm not completely... Okay, so we have an unfinished diagonal here locally. Now I'm going to start this different. There's 3 structures you want to look for: an impulse, diagonal, double 1-2. I explained that an impulse doesn't work here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's overlap between a wave 1 and a wave 4, and that's not allowed. So we have a diagonal or double 1-2. Let's observe the diagonals. First one here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, unfinished, and then you look for a retracement continuation. Now the reason that for a second I started doubting here is, yes, we took the high, so we could look for a 5, but as you can see, we have a bit of a 3-wave move down, right? And then we have what potentially looks like a flat. Now wave 4 can only be a zigzag family structure, so we can have a zigzag here, A, B, C, and be done, and then you wanted to actually see another zigzag up for 5. The fact we took the low here once again, but only one time, right? It's not like we made a low and another low for a double zigzag in WXY. So the fact that price has a three-wave structure, went up, but then came down again only once and not twice, makes me doubt the validity of this diagonal, as wave 4 becomes more difficult to count as a zigzag family structure. And that is why for a second just now I got a little bit confused, because that leads me to this here, which is also something that Samith posted in Discord earlier, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, looking for 2 and continuation, where we have a finished 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And now we look for a 3-wave corrective structure where this becomes a flat A, B, C, and then you move towards the downside. So that's something to consider. Now this 5-wave structure to the upside is then a bigger 1. You look for 2 and then 3, 4, 5. As you can see, we didn't retrace to the 0.382, which generally is a minimum target for wave 2. This is incredibly shallow at the moment as a retracement, right? We only hit the 0.236, which is very rare for a wave 2. It is seldomly a target. I remember once before, which was when we moved up in July last year. I can pinpoint it exactly on the charts. The last time I remember was here. The move at 26.4K, 19th of June. That was a 236 wave 2. So here we moved up, 236 touch, and then we went up again for an impulsive structure there. So, I mean, it's incredibly rare for a wave 2 to find support on a 236 and then continue towards the upside. So in this scenario, we do want to see price move down to at least 53.5K, right? This is your most common target for 2. The blue FIBs, 05786, 52.6, 50.6K. Again, I will summarize everything in the end just to make sure everyone actually is on one line. So in other words, this diagonal, not a big fan of this anymore because of the single low that we have here. This was nice. I wanted to see a 5. We didn't. We got one more low, but not a double low for a WX and then a Y double zigzag in 4 and up in 5. So I don't really like this diagonal, meaning I would prefer looking for 1, 2, 3 in the bullish scenario, or that's your alternative. You're going to be looking for a double 1, 2. Now a double 1, 2 here is a little bit tricky, because for a double 1, 2, we have a lot of overlap. So in a 1, 2, double 1, 2, you want to see 1, 2, 1, 2, and a big 3 to the upside. Now, if we do a diagonal here, we have a single 1. We look for a single 2 and continuation, so that doesn't work. Then we need a 1, a 2, and then we need a second 1 to the upside. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But then you still expect a retracement, but not take this low. So, but you do want to hit the 382. Double 1, 2 does not look very chic. I'm doing a little bit of live analysis and thinking here, so it's less concise as it sometimes is. But for a double 1, 2, we want to see, of course, an impulse diagonal in both of the ones. 1, 2, 1, 2. This, of course, is a bit stupid. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. You know, that doesn't have high, great probabilities generally to have so many 1, 2s. So 1, 2, 1, 2, 1. You would still look for a trade 1, 2, and then a diagonal in your 1. Still look for a retracement. And in the single 1, 2, we also preferably still look for a retracement because the 236 is so shallow. So basically, the probabilities would still be higher to look for a retracement, even in the bullish scenarios. So what we're doing now is important for, is the low in, yes or no? We're literally answering the question here on a 15-minute time frame. Let me put two things on here. Pause. Double 1 2. Oh. Okay. We're gonna do a complete live analysis. I'm gonna remove all the 50-minute stuff here. So I'm gonna first, let me summarize the weekly and the daily. Short, this will be very short, and then we do live analysis. Weekly time frame, highest probability is a wave 1, 2, 3, 4, and we're looking for a wave 5. So we aim for wave 4 to finish in the target area here, right? We want overlap with the lower degree wave 4 in green. That's what happened with the most recent wick. So that is at least something good, right? And you can see the target area is 57.1 to 42.8K. Ending anywhere here is perfectly fine for wave 5 to the upside. On the daily time frame, so in other words, on the weekly, probability is highest to still continue the trend and make a new all-time high. Daily time frame, highest probability is a zigzag ABC to the downside. This is your target for C. So we have hit the target for a wave 4 on the weekly. We have hit the target for a wave C on the daily, right? So this, of course, is an area of interest. Even if you do take another low here, right, we are looking for price to move up. Making another low, yes or no, depends on lower time frame structures. On the 1 hour time frame, your most bullish scenario is, of course, a finished impulse. 1, 2, 3, 4, and wave 5 is finished. Ended wave 5 on a high amount of volume. That is something that you do like to see when you end big corrective structures, right? It is not uncommon to end on a high amount of volume for a wave C, and as you can see, we have a high amount of volume. This move to the downside, look at the volume here, poof, right? So there's definitely something to say about a potential low to be in, but we are gonna live analyze this in a second. What, however, gives more confirmation, because that is also what we like to see, right? Trading is about probabilities, and confirmation is, of course, important. What would be good for the probabilities to increase for the bulls is for price to move up to 59.2K, because your bearish scenario is an unfinished wave C, 1, 2, 3, 4, and still look for one leg down in a wave 5. But if we hit 59.2K, wave 4 is invalidated, and then we are looking for a wave C to be finished preferably, and a bullish structure to the upside. Again, doesn't happen in straight lines, as it never does, but it happens in waves, right? And of course, the moment we do hit the 0.618, there's always going to be another bearish scenario, but it's probabilities, right? So let's first focus on the 618 here. Okay, so hitting that 618 at 59.2K increases probabilities for the bulls. So let's do some live stuff here. I'm going to sit straight for this one. Okay, so if we are bullish, we want to count an impulse, diagonal, double, 1, 2. I'm going to talk to myself a lot now. So we have, and it might be a bit quick, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 overlap between wave 1 and 4 here. That's not allowed, so an impulse doesn't work. Then we have a diagonal to the upside. We could have a finished diagonal here towards the upside. In this case, all of the waves of this diagonal have to be zigzag family structures, meaning 3-wave corrective structures, because of the wave 5, which is a 3-wave structure, because 5 is a 3-waver. Wave 3 and 1 also have to be a 3-wave structure. Now, counting this as a 3 or 5-wave structure means you have to go to a 3-minute time frame or 1-minute time frame. It's not something that I like to do, so I'm not doing it. But you can have a finished diagonal structure. You then count this as a 1, 2, and then a 3, 4, 5. All right, and then we do this. Now let's make it a little bit more neat. Okay, if we do this and if we do that, so can we have a diagonal? Yes, we can. Yes, we can. What is not like that great for a diagonal, but it's not an invalidation, is that wave 3 is longer than wave 1. As you can clearly see, wave 3 is a lot longer than wave 1. We passed this 1-to-1 trend-based fib from the low to the high to the low, comparing 1 with 3. And wave 3 being longer than wave 1 is not common for a diagonal. It's not an invalidation based on the new rules of Elliott waves, right? With diagonals, or new is already a few years old, but still, it's not ideal. No? Now, if nonetheless we are looking for this diagonal, then we want to see price, preferably of course, move down for a wave 2. Your most common target in wave 2 is the blue box that I have on the chart, giving you a target between 52.6 and 50.6k. The 382 is uncommon for 2, the 886 is very rare for 2, and the 236 is incredibly rare for wave 2. I just earlier mentioned the last time I saw a 236 for a wave 2 was July last year. That it's very uncommon for a wave 2 to find support on a 236. So this is your most common target area, but this would generally be regarded as your minimum area. Now, as you can see, we have not hit this area, right? The 302 is not touched, 53.5k. So in this case, if we are looking for a diagonal in 1, which we can count at least some sort of a diagonal here and give it some probabilities, and we look for a wave 2 and continuation up in 3, preferably we come down once more. Now, quickly looking at the subwave structures, we can see a 3-wave move down here, followed by another 3-wave structure to the upside here. So we have to think about a potential WX and then a wave Y here, zigzag X possible, maybe a flat structure or a triangle. That's again very, very low time frame stuff, but by all means doesn't really matter what's happening here. We're looking for price to move down, hit the common target area for 2, find support, move up. To the downside, we have support, naked point of control, 52.9k, around the 0.5. Nice, right? That is some good support. And do we have, value area low here, 51.3k. Let's do it a couple of pulls. Okay, so that's also a point of control. So 51.4 is also a level of interest. I'm still, this is what happens when I analyze. I don't, by the way, always talk to myself when I analyze or do live analysis myself, but I do tend to do this sort of stuff, like put the boxes on the chart. Makes me think. Okay, so this is also support. Let me put this in my folder. Naked point of control of bum 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 bum. Okay, so preferably we still move down 05 and up in this case, or a little lower. Okay, so impulse doesn't work. We can have a diagonal over here that is then finished in a wave 1 and then look for still a 2 to come. Generally after a diagonal you do expect a deeper retracement, but is there any other way to have a diagonal here? No. Okay, so then we have a potential double 1-2. Double 1-2 is a bit tricky, Koen, because 1-2, 1-2, we need another 1-2, 1-2. Becomes very, very messy. And also the latest 1-2, did we hit the 886? No, we didn't. But having so many 1-2s, 1-2, 1-2, 1-2, 1-2, it's not high probabilities. Your latest 1-2 is absolutely massive. It's very, very long in time compared to the 1-2 here of a higher degree. Talking about degrees, let me make this simple here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Put this on the 4 hours so everyone can follow it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Of course, when I do things myself, I tend to go a little bit quick sometimes. So then we do this, and then we do pop, 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 pop. Bum, bum, bum. So if this is a multi 1-2, then you can see your white wave 2 is very, very long in time, but your blue wave 2, green wave 2, and yellow wave 2 are very short. So it lowers the probabilities for such a big such a big quadruple 1-2, besides the fact they're not very common to have so many 1-2s as well. But even having a 1-2, 1-2, and then this being another 1-2, it's preferably in multi 1-2s, your next wave 1 is above the first wave 1. It's not a requirement, but it is common, which we didn't. So I'm not too big of a fan yet of a
double 1 2. I would prefer the diagonal over a multi 1 2 here. 1 2, can we make it a double instead of the, if this is a 1 2 pum pum pum, yeah, then we have another diagonal undershooting 1 2 3 4. That's, is this an expanding? No, but that would be a very long second one. If this is a 1 2 and then another 1 2, your second wave 1 is very big compared to your first wave 1, but your first wave 1 is the highest degree wave 1, right? You have wave 1 2 1 2 3 4 5 4 5. Your highest degree count is your first 1 2 and your final 3 4 5, right? And then inside 3 you have a lower degree 1 2 3 4 5, right? That's your lower degree Elliott wave count. That's your lower time frame or lower degree. And preferably a lower degree is smaller in time and price. So the 1 2's not too big of a fan. So a diagonal would fit best for a bullish scenario. A double 1 2 fits the best here. All right, so remove this, and then a diagonal would fit the best here. Right, that's preferred. No, that's preferred. Okay. Which would mean this here. And then we preferably look for a retracement to the downside. Okay. And that is the bullish scenario. Okay, cool. So we got a bullish scenario, 50-min bull, done. Okay, then we look at the bearish scenario. Then we have zigzag, flat, triangle, WXY. So in other words, if we are looking for another low, we need to be able to count this correctively. Okay? And a correction means a three-wave corrective structure in one of these structures, a zigzag, flat, triangle, or WXY. Now a zigzag, right, I'll get to that in a second because that's the easier one. A flat here doesn't work because your retracement did not hit the 0.9. Right? And at no point did price move down to a 0.9 fib taken from the low to this high or this high or this high or this high. And the 0.9 is a minimum target for wave B in a flat structure. So a flat doesn't work. Triangle, what are we looking for? There's no triangle here, so that doesn't work. Okay, then we have a WXY. And with WXY, I mean a sideways WXY, right? If you don't know what I'm talking about, then make sure to go to my channel and check the playlist here, right? So you can go to the playlist and I'll show you the video you want to watch. This one here, right? WXY, a sideways WXY. And in a sideways WXY, you're looking for this, where preferably your wave X is deep, hitting the golden pocket 786, 886, right? And then have a wave Y to the upside. But at the moment, we don't really have a very big retracement. A WXY means that your W, your X, and your Y are all three-wave structures. Your W can only be a zigzag or a flat. Your X can be anything, most commonly a zigzag, and your wave Y depends on wave W. If wave W is a zigzag, wave Y can't be a zigzag. If wave W is a flat, wave Y can be a flat, a zigzag, or triangle. So that's the rules in a nutshell, but make sure to check that video. So, okay, if we count this as a zigzag, we got ourselves a W here. But then we need an X, okay, we can make an X, but that's a very shallow X for a sideways WXY, as preferably in a sideways WXY, we get a deeper X. And this one only reached the 382. That's a little bit shallow for a WXY. Plus, if this is the end of your X, you're looking for another zigzag, which is a double zigzag WXY. That's not a sideways WXY. So in other words, for a sideways WXY, we want another low. There's no rule that says that a diagonal can't be in a wave 1 of a double 1, 2. Yeah, you can absolutely have a diagonal in a wave 1 of a double 1, 2. Yeah. For a second, I was thinking here about a running flat A, B, C, but you have overlap here, which means diagonal. 1. No, okay, expanding diagonal, that's very rare, never preferred unless everything else fails. A sideways WXY here doesn't really work. Preferably for a sideways WXY, we want a deeper retracement, then a wave Y, and then a move down. All right, so yeah, we can have a 3-wave here. We can label it W, but then what? We don't really have an X. And if we still have an unfinished X, we need to now, because of price taking this high, we need to think about a flat ABC. But if this is your X running flat with an expanding diagonal in C, which is very rare, your X only retraced to the 382 of W, which is also not what you want to see. So that doesn't really work for a corrective structure. And now the fact that we took the high again, WX, no, so it's not really cool. Okay. And then we have the zigzag, and that's pretty much the scenario that's kind of like left. Yeah, of course you can move W here, but W can only be a flat or a zigzag. So then it needs to be a zigzag in an A, B, but then wave C needs 5 waves, but you only have 3 waves here, right? Unless you move wave W all the way here, but then this becomes an A, B, C, and your wave C is over 6 times the length of your wave A, which is of course very rare. It's low probabilities. So if we look at a zigzag structure, we preferably look at a double zigzag, where we then have our W, we have our X, and we have our Y, but then preferably, of course, that's your high, and you move down. There. Let me put this on the chart, because WXY, take a trend-based fib from the low to the high of W to the low of wave X. Target for your Y 0.618. We just missed out on at least hitting this. For a double zigzag, by the way, it is most common for your wave Y to hit the 1 to the 1.236, being similar in length than W, which we haven't hit. Not even got close to the common target. So that's not too great. And of course, if we do count this WXY, then you want to see an impulse down, but we didn't, because we can't count 1, 2, 3. We took the high. Yeah, WXYXZ is very rare. So never preferred. F. Press F in chat. WX double zigzag Y A B C WX unless of course this is your X. And, oh wait, but that's very rare. If this is A B C, your C is A expanding. I don't like this, guys. No, we hit the top of the channel. So wave C is an expanding diagonal in a running flat. Now imagine a running flat with an expanding diagonal in C. Anyone? That's very low probabilities. Oop. And then you want to see why. So what's interesting is that based on the current range here, with the information that we have, it is very difficult to count this as a sideways WXY. We never got a deep retracement for a sideways X, right? A triangle is irrelevant, right? At the moment. Probably is not going to be relevant anyway. A flat is not relevant because we didn't touch the 0.9. And a zigzag A, B, C is irrelevant really because wave C is long in time, like incredibly long. A double zigzag wave Y is very short, so it's not great probabilities. Triple zigzag is always rare. So it increases probabilities for bullish scenarios. But even in the bullish scenario, you actually want price to move down a little lower because the 236 is such a rare target for wave 2. You know, your common target is actually lower. And in the diagonal, you're either looking for 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5. But I explained like this wave 4, you want it to be a double zigzag now. Doesn't really look that nice as a double zigzag. So this one would have better probabilities, but you do want price to still move down. Find support on the daily naked point of control. 52.9k would be great, and if not the daily naked point of control, then 51.4k, which is a point of control of this structure here at the low, and then look for signs of strength here. Preferably what I am then looking for is price to come down, hit the support area, right, either or, and start creating waves to the upside structure, just like we have here, right? I want to see structure to the upside, and I want to see some consistent bullish CVDs. Not just one, I want to see two, I want to see three. You know, that's what I'm looking for. If we do come back down, and then I want to see structure, 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 maybe retracement, structure, and then bullish, 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 bullish. You know, that's what I'm looking for. On a 15-minute, we have bullish CVD here, right? We create structure, up, 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 up. Yes, there's some bearish CVDs, but these have played out on the 15-minute. And then we had new bullish CVDs. Interesting, no? And then we moved up and we took the highs, and the bullish CVDs have played out. But this is very interesting. But will we go down? We don't really touch any relevant resistance. The next resistance on my chart is 58.9k. There's not really anything local. Where's my SR? Okay, we are still doing some live analysis stuff, of course. Let me have a look here. Okay, we're not even close to this support resistance area. Oh, wait, we are now, of course, here. But from a volume level perspective, there's not too much. This is, of course, a support resistance area now, but I prefer, to be honest, one higher, this one. But if you go that high, then you also hit 59.2, which invalidates a wave 4, which supports the bulls. So, concluding the analysis, on a weekly time frame, the probabilities are higher to look for a wave 4 and a wave 5 to the upside, and continue the trend to new all-time highs. On a daily time frame, wait, let me show the scenarios as well, so people that just joined. Weekly time frame highest probability is what you see on the chart, right? So we look for wave 4 and then another 5 up minimum. So in other words, another all-time high. That's the highest probability. You only really become bearish if you take 38. Commonly wave 4 ends after the 1-to-1, 12th of August, but because longer than 2, well, we got quite close. So, okay. Daily time frame. Common target for your C has been hit. A, B, C, right? Yellow or the green box here is touched. Now you can see it's still a big box. We have a lot of space. No problem to come down once again. And we have some additional support at 45 and 42k. Right. If we do move up and hit 59.2k, your new bearish scenario, by the way, will be a zigzag, but that's stuff for later. Because then you're going to be W, X, zigzag in a wave, Y, and then up. That's going to be your new bearish scenario if you do move up and hit the 618. And on a 15-minute time frame, at the moment, probabilities are higher to see a retracement. So to see a retracement into the common target area for wave 2, 382, 05786 is your common target, right? So 52.6 to 50.6. $52.9. M58. Make sure to check the banned word list in Discord, by the way, just in case you might have a word in here that in your comment which makes it not appear. The banned word list is there to avoid scammers scamming you guys. So preferably here on the 15-minute, we see another leg to the downside, moving into support. As an impulse doesn't work because of overlap, a double 1-2 or multi 1-2 is it's a bit awkward to count here. And with all the overlap and sideways stuff, a diagonal can work, ending either here or here, but now preferably maybe here. Okay. We do have a 3-wavy end here, by the way. Could it? W, X, and this being Y, it's a very short Y. But by all means, even if this is the end of your diagonal and you move 1 and 5 to the right, you still look for a retracement down anyway. And the levels are quite similar. You're still going to be looking for preferably your 05 to 786, which is most common. And then the probabilities at the moment would be higher to look for another leg up here, because a triangle doesn't work, a flat doesn't work, a sideways WXY doesn't work because X is not deep enough really. And for a double zigzag, your Y is very short, plus you now took the highs. Single zigzag ABC, that's a very long, very long wave C. Unless you have A, you look for B and C, but that's fine. But then you still expect this, because then your wave A is simply your diagonal. You look for B and C, so then you get the same price action, right? This, you're gonna expect the same price action. Even for B, a 236 it's crazy shallow. So even for B, preferably you still move down and then C up, and then after C you have A, B, C, and you go down again. So weekly time frame bullish, daily time frame bullish, 50-minute time frame looking for a retracement in a wave 2 or B, highest probability for then another C or 3 up. Which answers the question on the thumbnail, is the low in? Of course, is the low in like 100%. For now, the probabilities here are higher. You at least have a high probability temporary low and potentially the low, as the probabilities would be higher for an A, B, C or a 1, 2, 3. The question depends on C or 3. Do you get a C up or a 3? Of course, preferably we're looking for 1, 2, 3, and then the low is in and you continue. But locally, we preferably look for retracement and then another leg up. Take the highs, look for resistance. So, yeah. Now, context-wise, just I think I wrote it in the probabilities this morning. This is from the morning here. Just only the bit at the end. The rest can pretty much be removed because it's irrelevant now. So I can as well just do pop. The daily, I just mentioned probabilities, but I think this is important in general, right? Because there's always trades to be taken on a 3, 5, 50-minute time frame. But when you zoom out, and that's also what I always like to do with the live streams, when you zoom out, We hit big weekly support. We hit the target box for a wave C. On the weekly time frame, we're looking for a 4 and a 5, which of course is bullish as well. We're we're at the lowest point of a potential 4 at the moment, right? 55k, 49k. So of course, from a swing trader's perspective, it's much more interesting to look for upside, just like we looked for downside when we were at the highs of the range. Remember? I even put it in the setups channel as well. Setups channel, right? The first link in the description. So we had to move up from an Elliott wave point of view, looking for a 4 and a 5. Nice. And then there were 3 potential areas of interest for a short, because we were looking for a wave, an impulse to end, right? 5 to end and look for a move down. The first one 69.2, second 79, and then 72. Well, you know, eventually we found resistance here. Price moved down. Okay, perfect. Yeah. Oh, I got some questions about it. koenztrades, go to this channel here and just scroll up a little bit and check this, and then you get into Koenz setups. Right, first link in the description. It's free, by the way. It's completely free. And there I explain why certain trades are interesting from an Elliott wave point of view. Of course, educational. I don't do signals. The only thing that's bothering me a little bit with moving down for 2 or B is the bullish CVDs, but it's still from an Elliott wave point of view. Preferably you move down. The bullish CVDs played out. This one here and this one here have played out, but it's all very 3 wavy. So the diagonal has higher probabilities than a double 1-2. For a diagonal, you want price to move down. For a double 1-2, of course, it doesn't really matter. So 3-minute time frame. So yeah, that's it. Weekly time frame, bullish. Daily, bullish. On the 50-minute time frame, preferably look for a move down. Daily naked point of control, and then another leg up. So at least have this as a temporary, if not potential low. And we continue to observe. So yeah, pretty good. We do have. We keep building bullish CVD divergences. I mean, look at this. Higher low, again lower low. So we keep building bullish CVD divergences. Bitcoin. Yeah, 1, 2. Yeah. So in this case, of course, your second wave 1 is a diagonal, but your second wave 1 is very big to the first one, but it's possible. Your second wave 2, of course, is still very shallow. So the count he has is 1, 2, and then you have 3, 4, 5, and then wait. You have another chart. Oh, you have a truncated 5. Oh, I see what happened there. So then you have this as a truncated 2, 3, 4, 5. But truncations are so rare in Elliott waves. It's a truncation, by the way, everyone, because you have a lower high here, right? And you are looking for a diagonal. So preferably you see 1, 2, 3, 4 higher high. It's very rare to have a wave 5 lower than wave 3. So for the probabilities, that's not too great. So yeah, probability is locally highest for the retracement down to be move into the resistance pocket at some point. Double 1-2 is tricky. Impulse doesn't work, so it looks the best. And then depending on the reaction here, if we get it, preferably see structure to the upside, bullish CVDs, impulsive moves, volume coming in. That would of course be positive. yeah, weekly bullish, daily bullish, and looking for an impulsive structure here. 1, 2, 3 or A, B, C. I'm still, my eyes can't stop searching for a double 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Potential here for a finished impulse. We hit, oh wait. We did hit the 0.618, so there is potential for A, B, C, W, X, Y. W, X, that's a very short Y in time compared to wave W, has to be said. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. We don't want to go into 5-minute analysis and stuff. Let's stay around on the 15. Put this on, put this on, put that on. Okay, and then we have this 59.2. It's of course important. Okay. So, wow. So that was, of course, a little bit of live analysis. And I can imagine if you are new or not that familiar with Elliott waves, it's a lot of terminology and it goes very quick. But of course, feel free to ask questions. I'm happy to explain everything. If you didn't follow anything or you don't know certain terminology, let me know. Because of course not everyone is at the same level, but yeah, weekly bullish, daily bullish, and in the end, actually on the 50-minute, you're also bullish because you are looking for upside in the end still. Even if you get a retracement to the, for example, daily naked point of control, you still look for another leg up. My main question is, do we get that leg down? One, two. You missed the 302. $618. You can't have a flat here. Price didn't hit the 0.9 Fibonacci down here. Yeah, so this could be a flat, yes. The problem is that if we count a flat here, A, B, C, for example, having a flat wave B, like this, A, B, C, in a bigger flat, A, B, C, is incredibly rare. Officially, if you would follow Elliott Wave International, they say it's not allowed. But by the data of Rich Swannell, it's possible. It's just very, very rare to have a flat wave be in a flat. So if we would count this ABC as a flat, then preferably we look for WXYs here. Yeah. Oh, wait. 1 second. When to use log? Oh, yeah. So, Yuri. So, yeah, probabilities would be higher to look for retracement, though. As long as yeah, that's for now. You use the logarithmic chart when price, right, unrelated to the asset, but if price moves hundreds of % in the window that you're looking at, you want to move to log. So on Bitcoin, if you go to the weekly, you're analyzing price action from 15K to 70K, but 1% at 15K is very different than 1% at 70K. So you want to correct for it, and that's why you use log. on a altcoin, sometimes on a 15-minute time frame, right, you can have a move up that is 200, 300, 400%, and then you move to log. So it's correcting for the percentage difference between the low and the high, for example. So that is when you would use it. Flat from the low with a C, it gets down to, how about the flat from the low with a C being an ending diagonal? Yeah, so, oh wait, so I would then look for a zigzag. So this is probably what you're looking for. I would prefer ABC zigzag instead of a flat. But then your wave C is very long, right? So you then have A, B, and then you have your C. And your C is, I don't know, like 10 times the length of your A, right? This is what you mean, right? But then look, we passed the 6 big time. So it's a very, very long wave C. It doesn't really have great probabilities. Yeah. 618 from low to high will be hit today. Yeah, okay. So this, yeah, that's pretty much, that would be around 52K pretty much if you talk about the 618. We don't have any news. Actually, not for the whole week, only next week again. Counting second peak as wave 3. This one is wave 3. Okay, so then you have 1, 2, 3. A flat in 4. Yeah, but so the problem is if your second peak here is wave 3, your wave 4 is overlapping with 1. Even if you would count A, B, C and end wave 4 here, you do have wave 4 price action overlapping with 1. You know, even though the end of 4 doesn't overlap 1, it is wave 4 price action overlapping with 1, which, you know, you don't want 4 to overlap with 1. Yeah, cheers. Could you please take a look at the current 3-minute CVD? Ah, nice one. We have some bearish CVDs. That would support, if we do get this playing out, so we want price to move down, take out this low, bearish CVDs, then play out. Right, so the red line, bearish CVD. If we take out this low, bearish CVDs play out, and if we are looking for a bit of a retracement, that would be nice. So then you have potential WXY, or you finish 1A here and you start a retracement, but you know you wanna move down, so you know probabilities haven't changed. Preferably on the 15, you do get some sort of a retracement. The automated CVD template is coming. I'm very happy with this one. I don't know if Mr. Friends is watching, but this is the newest update. So Mr. Friends has been very active recently, trying to code different things, and this is currently the best template, really. Sometimes if I move my cursor, you can see it has a little bit of a lag spike. I'm not really sure why that is. You can see it happen sometimes, right? So if I just go left and right, you will see. You saw that? I'm not sure why that is. It doesn't really bother me because the chart works, the divergences work, and I don't know, maybe it's my connection. I don't know if other people will experience the same, but this will be shared in Discord and the other channels. So of course the current template without the lines can be downloaded in Good to Know. Right, it's here, this one, and it's the AGGR website, everyone. It's this one here. So you can download it there, and yeah, probably the only thing I would like to ask for is of course this. Mr. Friends put a lot of work in this as well, and it's of course very special to have the automated CVD. So it would be nice if people want to register with one of the links to support the channel, and they get access to, like, we're creating a little bit of a goodie bag, and then have the CVD template and get access to the setups channel as well, where I explain why certain setups are interesting from an Elliott wave point of view. So hopefully people learn more about how to trade Elliott waves as well. But it's still free. It's still completely free. It's just that it would be nice if people do that. So I guess that's going to be something that I'll ask. People want to do that. Christian Vavel, welcome. Do you actually know? Are we talking about sizable differences? Higher probability and lower probability. So it's a great question. Also, Christian, to answer your question, I do recommend as well, for some additional info, to go to Discord, links in the description. Go to the Elliott Waves channel here in educational content and download these 2 papers. You will find what you're looking for from a statistical point of view, right? Now, second, the probabilities in Elliott Waves are related to the skill of the analyst, right? So in the beginning, when everyone is shit, including myself, you have a low skill level in Elliott Waves. So therefore, you are not going to be great in estimating probabilities, right? So skill level is low, and your estimation of probabilities is wait. What did I always say, guys, in live streams? Your skill is going to be low. Oh, I always had such a good... That doesn't matter. So your skill level is low, and therefore you don't really have a great idea of what the probabilities are. But the better you become, the more consistent you're going to be with your probabilities, and the better your probabilities will be, because you have to judge probabilities per scenario based on the retracement, the volume, the targets, the etc., right? Subwave structures. And based on the rules and guidelines respected, you will give higher or lower probabilities to a scenario. So the higher your skill level, the lower your subjectivity. There we go. So the lower your skill level, the higher your subjectivity. You don't really know what you're doing, but you're trying. But the more skill you get, right, the higher your skill level, the lower your subjectivity becomes. Now, it will never be completely zero, because it's still a person that is doing this, of course. But if your skill goes up, and you become very good in Elliott Waves, your subjectivity goes down. In other words, your probabilities, or your reading of the scenarios, and your probabilities that you give to these scenarios will be high probability correct based on your skill, right? So the difference in higher or lower probabilities, I don't want to give an estimation of numbers, also because if I say this is a 90 to 10 scenario, then everyone goes long that's watching the video, and that's not the goal. I'm not here to give signals and stuff. So higher probabilities equals what I say is higher, right? It's 60-40, 70-30, 80-20, 90-10, 100%. There's never 100%, of course. So but it's the skill level versus your subjectivity, and the better your skill level, the lower your subjectivity, the better your trading using Elliott Waves. And that takes years of experience. I use linear lower time frame and log on the higher. Any of you had failed download attempts when downloading Atlas? Make sure to download, Jouke, the crypto Atlas, right? So Atlas here, right? You want to use the crypto, Atlas crypto here. Oh, right. Here we are. And then download. Should work. No? Could the end of 3 be the next stop at 56K? This one here, end of 3. Well, if this is then your 1, 2, you need a 3 that ends here, which is a very long wave 3, a lot of overlap, which is not what you want to see. So preferably we're not counting this as a wave 3 unless you look for a local 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, of course. On the index, yeah, but I use the Coinbase chart. For me, it works better. So I would nonetheless prefer counting this ABC zigzag compared to this being a flat. It's the same result. I mean, it's a flat or a zigzag. Most common flat is an expanding flat, which takes the low, which we didn't. So I would then still prefer counting it a zigzag. Do you ponder it probability if CVD blue and yellow do not correlate? No, the CVD lines for me have the same, exactly the same weight. I don't give one more probabilities than the other. Of course, blue is aggregated and yellow is a single platform, but these are the ones I've always used and works very well. If they give competing signs, like if blue is bullish and yellow is bearish, for example, then it's about context. So if you're at very big support, of course, bullish would generally have a higher probability, right? If you're at resistance and one of them shows bearish, generally higher probability. So then context becomes more important. And if on the 15-minute you see a bullish and a bearish divergence, right, on either blue or yellow, or of course both, one shows bullish, one shows bearish, go to the 3-minute time frame and then observe what happens on the 3-minute as well. Because on the 3-minute, you might then be able to see new divergences coming in that are supporting up or downside instead of the 15. So if the 15 is confusing you, go to the 3 and see what's happening on the 3-minute as well. And of course, sometimes here you have bearish CVDs. These played out on yellow, right? And then it turns into bullish CVD divergences. That also happens, of course. If you have many charts open in TW, I guess TV, trading view, it gets laggy. Yeah, but I don't have any indicators. I do have quite some windows open in Google Chrome, but I only have one chart in trading view. I don't really use more. Cheers, Markets Mike. Appreciate it, man. Nice to have you here. Thanks for being interactive. I love it. I love to see it. Good to have you here on the channel. Full fiber next week. Would like to hear it. I actually have a Wi-Fi repeater waiting for me at the shop, so I need to pick it up. So it's an extender, Wi-Fi extender. They call it a repeater here or something. Video playback interrupted. Please try again. Uh-oh. By the way, welcome, Mr. T. Clepson. It's always like this now. Maybe, I don't know, T. Clepson. Maybe it's because I'm on Wi-Fi. I don't know if do any other people have problems with the live stream? Rudy, that is a possibility, yes. When of course also here you would look for something like this. The dotted lines are coded. This is a completely new template. It's automated. It's fully coded. Oh, the previous stop. I'm running behind here. I don't know which one you mean, Cola, with the previous stop here. Oh, you mean this one? Oh, this being the high of 3. But then you still need 1, 2, and then this is your 3. But your 3 needs to be a 5-wave structure, which it isn't. It's a 3-wave structure. You would need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? High, high, final high. You need 3 new highs, but you only got 2. I will check the PDFs. My question about the existence of the actual number, just to understand if there was room to say. Yeah, so the risk to reward of a setup. I mean, it depends, of course, what you mean with risk to reward. But trading-wise, I think this is a great example. 1 second here. Setups channel. First link in the description. So here, let me explain. Let me open this. Open in a browser. Plop. So what we were looking for here was a way 5 to end. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 5, right? From an Elliott wave point of view, we were looking for an impulse to end and a move towards the downside, not knowing we would take the low, of course, but at least a retracement. And I then have additional resistance areas, number 1, number 2, and also here 1 at 72K, that I was like interested in. And from an Elliott wave point of view, as mentioned, we were looking for price to top and retrace. So in the setups channel, I said, and I in the setups channel, I explain why these are interesting from an Elliott wave point of view. Now, I'm a reactive trader, as Mike knows, as I like to call it. So I wait for the reaction, and then based on the reaction, I execute. So if we would just pump straight up and, I'm not interested in taking the shorts. But from an Elliott wave point of view, the highest probability was looking for a 5 and a move down. So that explains the setups, which I then explained in Discord as well. So over here, right? And your risk to reward, well, I that's up for judgment. But I was like, well, probabilities are low to take out the all-time high. So my initial stop loss would then potentially be at an all-time high if I would trade short, because I'm not expecting it to hit. And then hitting 62.3 would already be around a 1 to 2, but we can dip lower, fill the gap, and then it becomes a 1 to 2, 1 to 2, 1 to 3, 1 to 4, 1 to 5. And what also happens is, once we get more confirmation of price moving down, I can always add to a position by reducing the stop loss from all-time high back to the high, because you get more confirmation. You can increase your position, increasing your risk to reward once again. So now the question becomes, how do you manage your trades? So an initial entry can be done based on probabilities, but then trade management can make you add, like compound, or trade management. How do you manage the move down? Do you early TP? Do you let it run? Like those type of things. Of course, from a daily perspective, we now hit this box. So of course, if people would be like, okay, we have an important box here, invalidation would be moving below 38, right? Of course, it's a 26% stop loss. That's of course insane. But I would not enter at the high of like this window. I look for additional support areas, and there's 3. You have one over here, and one over here. All of these would have the invalidation down there, no? And then depending on the reaction and lower time frame scenarios and more confirmation, yes or no, you can adjust stop loss, add compound, that sort of stuff. 26% stop loss for a first, let's do this here. If you would enter 22%, so of course insane, but if you would look for targets to 90k, it's still 1 to 3, 1 to 4, which is, or even higher, you don't know, but it's perfectly fine for a swing trade. So step 1, of course, is, so if you talk about trading Elliott waves, step 1 is learning the theory. That's what will take most time. Starting with an impulse, and then zigzag, flat, triangle, and then you move into WXYs. And once your theory is okay, right, at the beginning, your chart is probably going to be very messy. You'll have a lot of difficulty counting waves because they're not as perfect as in the book, right? So it might not be easy, but if it was easy, everyone would do it. So a bit of a challenge. So step 1 is getting to the theory and learning the theory. Step 2 is becoming so natural with the theory that you can see the scenarios evolving quite quickly. So it helps you to quickly think of new scenarios. And then step 3 is actually getting to probability. So hey, if this and that and this and that, this has a higher probability than that, right? So based on the rules, the guidelines, the volume, the retracement, this scenario has a higher probability compared to this scenario, because it's all probabilities. But then these probabilities need to be put into a potential setup plan, right? And for me, yes, I can trade Elliott waves by itself, but I always like some extra confirmation, and I like CVD, and I like my support resistance areas, and And this is, everyone trades different. So you can look for volume moving above the VWAP, Elliott wave structures on the 15-minute, CVD, RSI, MACD, to get extra confirmation, and then trade from there. So, and that's, analyzing the chart is 1, trading it, of course, is 2, right? That's and that's why in the setups channel I explain more about why something is interesting. It's far from a signals channel, because it's educational, right? I just want to show people how can I, that's a question they ask themselves, like if they are analysts, but they're not yet like on such a level, okay, how do I trade Elliott waves, right? And that's why in the setup channel, I always explain the why behind certain new setups. I always explain why is this relevant. And it's not that I take it, yes or no, because I might not take a setup I post there based on the reaction, because I'm a reactive trader. I want to observe what price does, right? If this would be a short area and price does this, I mean, it's stupid to short, no? So I wait for what I want to see, bearish CVD, whatever. I want to see a combination of my tools, and then I get interested. So, yeah. What's the probability it will go below 40K? Below 40K, at the moment, like 10%. You can never go to zero. So probabilities for a bear market moving below 40K, very low. Very low, because then you get to 38K and then you're at your bear market. But currently on a weekly time frame, it's not relevant yet to talk about bear markets. So that's like, very low probabilities. Now, when 3-minute CVD is bearish, how long or how much should be suggested to see in order to use it? Look, using CVD should be one of the tools in your toolbox. It shouldn't be the only one, right? So you want to use CVD in context with your other analysis. Now, I think a great example, right? So you asked about the 3-minute. I personally use 15 minutes the most. So let's say I use this, right? We have a move up. We hit support, right? We move up, we move down, we get bullish CVD. It's interesting. You're at support as well, right? And then you range up and you get some more bullish CVD. So you don't necessarily, like, you can use the indicator for a long or a short, but of course it's not a signal. You want to use it in context. This bullish CVD is only interesting because we hit very important support, weekly support here. And we react, we move down, bullish CVD on top of support, and we move up. Interesting, right? So that's what makes it a potential setup. I bet that during the move down here, we also had some bullish CVDs that were invalidated. But in that case, look, yeah. So here you have bearish CVD. So here, this is an invalidated bullish CVD. But every single bounce to the upside for CVD as price moved down had bearish CVD. Every bounce up eventually created bearish CVDs. And we just went down and down and down and down and down. So a bullish CVD in a downtrend where you consistently have bearish CVDs, of course, is not very interesting, right? But then you get a move up, no bearish CVDs, retracement on top of support with bullish CVD. Oh, it rings a bell. It's quite interesting. And then here we have some more bullish CVD also played out. So how long or how much should be? It's not about the length, it's about the context, right? It should be one of your tools. But you just need to train yourself with CVD. Everyone will use CVD a little bit different as well. Even though the template might be the same and the CVD divergence is the same, everyone will use it differently, right? Because they have a different set of other tools that they use. But of course, theoretically, you can short or long every divergence and see how it goes. But it's best in a context with other tools. And yeah, so on the 50-min, we have two bullish CVDs that played out. And over here, we still have bullish CVD and bearish CVD. So it's a bit of a mix locally. And that's also why I'm like, yeah, I don't know. Like, is this a multi-1-2 or are we looking for a diagonal? Preferably, by the way, if we are bullish, I would actually like a retracement first. Yeah. This is, of course, very close to invalidation, but yeah, would be more bullish for me if we actually come down first, but no, we'll see. You moved to an awkward time zone. Thanks for still following everything, George. Appreciate it, man. Good to see you pop in now and then. And hope, by the way, that moving to a different time zone works well for you. Hopefully everything went well and You enjoy yourself there. Extenders, repeats. Oh, it's the same thing. Okay. Well, there you go. Legionario, welcome. Good to have you here. Ramsey. Cheers, Ramsey. For DCI spot bag for swing trade, you mentioned putting the average out for target price. So swing trading for me is very different compared to spot, right? When I would, like, okay, everyone does this different, right? There's no financial advice here, but when I would add to a spot bag, I don't care about this stuff. Like spot bag, I'm like, yo, long time frame, right? At least looking for wave 5, and then at some point, maybe exit stuff there. But with a spot bag, it's just like small little entries every week or every month or whatever your plan is, every day, every hour. Who cares? It's the same little bit of money for many times, sometimes a bit more, sometimes a bit less, but it's just about consistently investing. And DCA for me is more very long term. So I don't really care about moves like this, right? I don't have a stop loss with my spot. It's more like very long-term thinking in that case. For swing trading, I do, right? So for swing trading, if I went like short here, which I did, right, I have a stop, right? If I would go long, I'll have a stop. And your stop generally is your invalidation, right? And then eventually you can move your stop up if you have more confirmation. But the swing trades are much more managed and have a very clear stop, right, compared to my DCA. Now, in some cases, people DCA and they do have an invalidation, right, and a confirmation. So they're like, well, if price is going to move into the 50s, I'll add to my DCA. If price is into 60 and 70s, I stop DCA, right? That can be a plan, right? Some people maybe at the low were like, well, if price goes below 20K, I'll DCA. But the moment we go above 20K, I stop DCA. Right, can be a plan. So everyone can DCA different, and my DCA doesn't have a stop loss really. It's just long term, just like you accumulate. But swing trading always has a stop loss. When the moment I talk about trades, it's always a stop loss. Always stop loss. Yeah, Ramsey, about the Koens trades, just go to Koens trades. Maybe I have to put this message back at the bottom. I also have to update the recent setups, by the way, that I took. I'm a little bit lazy. Gotta put that in. But just here, like for the setups channel, right? Just and also in the setups channel, I'll share the CVD template that's coming with the lines. But yeah, I do ask for people to support the channel. There's so much free stuff everywhere, and the setups channel. Yeah. So just scroll up a little bit, follow the steps, register at an exchange, and then just give me your UID and I'll get you sorted. Same with the CVD template that's coming. You win the lottery. Yeah. 40K. Jeez, imagine. So many bullish CVDs got broken. On the way down, yes. ETH looks 3 wavy from the low. Correct. ETH doesn't look pretty. Yeah. 10 more likes for 100. Cheers. Thanks, everyone, for your support. Does AGGR chart work on the phone? Yes. I have it on my phone. I was able to download an app in the App Store. Yo, offline, how you doing, man? For me, wave 5 is truncated. You mean here? In that case, I mean, what are we looking for? I don't know what your wave 5 would be. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This 5. Truncations are very rare, so I don't really like to look for truncations most of the time. Unless you talk about the daily with a truncation 72K top. It's also still a truncation, of course. Why is it more bullish to come down first? Because it is very rare for wave 2 to not retrace to at least the 05. So preferably in a very bullish scenario, you actually see a more solid 2B and then a 3, right? Or a 1, 2, and then see your bigger 3. In a bearish corrective structure, right, you can have like a W, X, and a Y without very deep retracements, and after Y, you continue down. So preferably when bullish, I would actually like to see a retracement first before continuation, compared to just continuing up here. Of course, if you do hit 59.2, it at least invalidates a wave 4 on the 1 hour time frame. But it's healthy for an impulse to have a wave 2 retrace to at least a 382. 236 is so rare, unless you talk about double 1-2s, which means 1 2 1 2. But look how 3 wavy this move is. You need a second 1-2 in here. 1 2 3 4 5 correction impulse. I mean, you then need 1 2. You need another 1 2. Okay, right? We can get that. But then you get this here, this range. So then you need there's overlap here, and then you probably need 1 2 1 2 1 2. It's far from a pretty start. I mean, do they ever start nicely? And then you hit you pretty much found support on the 05, which then means this is a double 1-2 with a running flat in the second wave 2 with an expanding diagonal in your wave C of the wave 2. I mean, look, if you move up, probabilities are higher, right? On the 15-minute, even if you do move down, probabilities are higher to still move up. So arguably on a 15-minute, you're looking for upside anyway, either directly or indirectly. But it would just be nicer from an Elliott wave point of view. It would just be more according to the book. Yeah, cheers, George. Yeah, we both moved. I hope you're doing well. Can't download Atlas on either of my PCs. The link. You mean the link in Discord? You can also Google, of course, for Atos and then find it, but no, here it is. I mean, yeah, and then you go to Atos Crypto and then you register and download Atos for free. And then you have to, of course, upload the templates. So I don't know, it works for me. Ninat Bhatta, greetings from India. You're my favorite Elliott Wave analyst, binge watching and learning your Elliott Wave free content. Cheers, Ninat. I'm happy to hear that. Welcome. Good to have you here. I'm Dutch, but I'm living in France now. So hi from France. And I'm happy to hear that you're learning a lot with the content I put out here. It's nice to see. People enjoy it. It's out there for the world. It's all free. Enjoy it. I like to make it. Ooh, I definitely have to catch up. Could you tell me how it's possible to trade long and short position in the Netherlands as my exchange Bybit? Yeah, you can't trade futures on Bybit. You can only trade spot on Bybit and in the Netherlands. So shorting is a bit of an issue. For the Netherlands, there is 2 platforms I recommend, right? Where Blofin is based on the current data that we have, since all 4 of these are here. Blofin is by far the most registered. So Blofin is usable in US, UK, NL, right? BingX is not available in these countries and some others. Blofin is by far at the moment the number 2, but almost now overtaking BingX on the amount of people that enjoy using Blofin. So I personally am still active on BingX, my main trading platform, but I have been trading on, or I've been discovering Blofin. I don't really want to say it's comparable to BingX yet, like trading, but and then we have Bybit, right? Only really for spot, and then you have BTCC, also a great platform, also US, UK, NL. So yeah, Blofin is the most used, and they also like have a crazy amount of campaigns. Every 2 weeks, pretty much, there's like another campaign, and this is the most recent thing that's going on. So make sure to use it if you want to change. And on BTCC, this one here. So you can go to Discord, check out the bonuses and stuff, and hopefully you'll find something you'll enjoy. But you would need to go to Blowfin or BTCC really. BTC and alts are very frequently very correlated, even low time. Yes. Do you use also alts and the Confluent to create a better account? For example, if you check Solana now, what do you see? Yeah, so I analyzed the alts yesterday? No, Sunday. So 2 days ago. Sunday is always altcoin stream. And I mainly focus on Bitcoin. Bitcoin for me is by far the leading thing. Of course, ETH would have some probabilities in confluence with Bitcoin, but Bitcoin is the main. And if I look at the alts, right, is this here? Yeah, we go to my channel. So I analyze the alts, but I don't use the alts at all for my Bitcoin trading. So I analyze them, but I analyze them more like just separately. But yeah, every stream we do many different alts, sometimes a little like stock. We did Tesla and Nvidia here as well. Yeah, I don't use altcoin charts in like to trade Bitcoin, or to get a better count. I'm fully focused on Bitcoin, and the alts I mainly focus on weekly and daily, like high time frame stuff. For me, ETH looks like a 1-2-1-2 from the top. Is it possible for you? In a bearish scenario, that would be correct, but on ETH, like we can. Okay, let's have a short look. I don't like doing personal requests and stuff, so just FYI, I'll just have a look. The problem with ETH here is you change the market structure. It's a very, very ugly start of a impulse, right? So if this would be in one way impulsive, you would need to have some sort of a 1-2, like what? 1-2-1-2, right? But this is a very three-wavy looking structure, which isn't that great. So we now hit this low, and therefore there's the potential as well for W, X, and then a Y here. But yeah, it's look, 1-2, 1-2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 5. Yes, that's a scenario, of course, that's by far most bearish. The problem is you're then looking for an impulse down while your first wave 2 hit the 886. So that's rare for 2, lower probabilities. Higher probabilities that this is corrective, not like impulsive. So looking for ABC, for example, right? Looking for an ABC instead of a 1-2, 1-2, 3. Right, so an ABC would have higher probabilities because of your 886 touch here at the high, taken from the start to the low of the first move down. And then you can have A, B, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in C, find support, and then you want to see a move back up. But it's a very ugly impulsive structure. The fact, however, that on ETH you have a three-wave move down to begin with increases probabilities to take out all-time high at some point. So long time frame on ETH, you're bullish. Right, probabilities are bullish because of the three-wave move down, which is corrective. But this move up is very ugly as an impulse. So yeah, potential for a bigger WXY, like might not yet be finished with the bear market from that regard. For where to download AGGR on the phone, I got it from the App Store. But I don't know how it works. I have Android. I'm not sure if it's still in the App Store. Maybe look for AGGR online. What you can also do, by the way, is put a website on your home screen, right? So you go to your phone, you go to Google, you go to the AGGR website, which is charts.aggr.net. So that's good to know. And then you go here, charts. And then save this as a app. Save this website as an app on your home screen. You can do that by click on a chart, open it in Google or whatever. Open in Google, click on the three dots right top or wherever that is on your phone, and then in the list that expands, it should say somewhere like save on home screen or something like that. 1, 2, 3, 4, ABC. Well, your wave 5 then has to be a diagonal because you're looking for three-wave structures. So you need an ending diagonal in wave 5, which means this is a 1, 2, you still need a 3, 4, 5, but your wave C has to end at this low because this low invalidates a single ABC. And also wave 4 not allowed to overlap with wave 1 in an impulse. So you need to think diagonals or double 1, 2 from the start, because wave 1 and 4 overlap. So then your wave 5 can be a 3-wave structure, but wave 5 being an ending diagonal in a bigger diagonal, that's very, very rare. Yeah, it's very rare. Cheers, Jay. What's up? How you doing? What are your goals for the channel this year? Subs, projects, more? Ooh, what a question. Guys, I also almost have to go because I got to pick up the repeater before 7 p.m. the Wi-Fi repeater. Goals of the channel. Well, every year in December and January, I do this. Where is it? Is it here? Where did I post it? Other content. So here's a planner, which I, by the way, use every day. But part of the planner is yearly goals, which you'll see if you download it. Again, completely free, just download. It's the planner I literally use. And in December/January, I also, preferably December, make the 5-year and 10-year goals, or I update them. So at the beginning of this year, I have a 1-year goal, but I actually didn't do a 5-year or 10-year goal, gotta be honest. Last year, 2023, I did not even have YouTube as a goal. It just happened to go this way, and now we're at like 12 point, almost 13k subscribers, which is completely insane. I never expected it. So YouTube wasn't even a goal last year. It wasn't even in my plan, but here we are. So this year I made once I started making videos, I did put a goal by the end of last year, which was 5.6k subscribers, which we actually reached, which was quite cool. For this year, I was like, I'm going to be bold. I'm going to say 50k subscribers. Now, 50k is a very big number, and we are already in August. I'm only at 12.9, 13k, so it's a. But what is interesting is that it makes me think, how do I get there, right? So, of course, the goal of the channel is, like, I don't have to make videos, right? I don't have to make videos. I don't have to make or have a community, but I like to, right? I can also just trade for myself and be happy. I have other sources of income, so I don't have to have the channel, but I love having the channel. I love the community. I love making content. I love everything. So I like to spend time here, and 50k is a very big number, and I know that I might not reach that. Chances are very high I might not reach that at the moment. But what it does do is it makes me think, how can I get there? Because with the channel, I want to help. That's the goal. So I don't have to do everything I do, but I just want to help people understand Elliott waves, want to explain it to them. I provide as much free and stuff as I can. I answer all the questions. I'm live pretty much every day. I just want to help people move forward in their trading using Elliott waves, because it's such a powerful tool. It's so good. So the goal is, if you can reach more people with the channel, you can help more people. So that's the goal. And 50k, it probably not going to reach it, but it did make me think, okay, how do I get there? So I would probably need a website. I probably need a marketing team, or I need to cooperate with a marketing company. I need to professionalize my channel, so I need new thumbnails. I need to have other titles. I need people to be interested in my thumbnail and title in order to click to then subscribe, because else I can't help them. I can't serve them, because I'm here to serve you guys, right? And girls. So but I don't like clickbait. So I'm like, so that's the battle between, I need new titles, thumbnails, but I don't like clickbait. So clickbait for me is putting stuff in a title or a thumbnail that you don't talk about in the video, that you don't make true, right? You say something, but you don't actually deliver on it. So that for me is clickbait. Like, you want people to click, but you're not delivering the promise of your thumbnail and your title. So I was like, okay, what I want to do is I do want to have thumbnails with some text then. I spoke to a marketing company, right? And Jeroen is here as well. Jeroen is helping me out because if you want to reach that amount of subscribers, you need a team. So Jeroen is here. I'm going to work with a marketing company. We need new thumbnails and titles like what we're doing now. But I don't want to say something and not deliver. So the text on my thumbnails is always going to be stuff I'll talk about in the video, or it's going to be the highest probability scenario, but it is always going to be, I'm always going to deliver. I don't want to say something just so that people click, but then not deliver. So it's about finding balance, but it's with the goal of, hey, if I want to reach 50K and help so many people, I need thumbnails, I need titles because people got to click, but I want to be true to myself, right? I don't want to be a clickbait bitch. So cool. Okay, I need a marketing company to help me out here, maybe even advertisements. I probably need a team to help me manage certain things and reduce some tasks like what Jeroen is doing. Need to think of additional products so that I can help people again. So what we're working on, for example, little sneak peek. Let me see, where is this? Wait, I'm going to give you a sneak peek. So something that we are working on as well. Where is it? I thought I had it opened. Oh, here it is. 1 second. Bum. Okay. Poof. Sneak peek, everyone. First time. Now this is not finished, right? We're still updating this. It's going to change. It's already a lot still is going to change, but at least we're working on it. But what is going to be different in my PDF here for you guys compared to all the others that you see and can probably download online is a lot of the details that I explain in my content, like the 886, like the 618, like small little tips and things are going to be in here as well. So it's not just, oh, these are the Elliott wave rules. Like it's going to have a lot of different additional information and tips and tricks that you'll have. Now, this is the impulse. And then, of course, if I scroll down, contracting diagonal. And, Jeroen has been working on this. So this, again, is then something, again, that, will help. Hopefully, people will like this. And it will help as well. And it gives information. You can download it and use it. And it's easy. So, that's it's a way of thinking. 50K is very big. How do I get there? Okay, I need to change stuff. And I might not reach the goal of 50K, but by having that goal, I have gotten further than I would have without having that goal, because I needed to change I needed to change my approach with the channel. So yeah, that's a very long answer, but basically what I'm saying is 50K. Yeah. Okay, price chart, Bitcoin. Every platform has their own chart, and there might be small differences between those separate charts. So yeah, it's just a bit platform dependent. BingX usually is a little bit below the Coinbase chart, but I just like Coinbase for analysis. Yeah. A double zigzag is on the cards. Aaron, yo, Aaron, thanks for supporting the community. And of course the channel as well. That's amazing. Cheers, Aaron. 10 gifted. That's amazing. Fib Newton, Leo Anderson, Kramo, Time Traveler, Shiv Y, Sebastian Wins, The Video Kingdom, Celinda Anderson. Wait. Celinda Anderson, Leo Anderson. Double S though. NB. Yametakuda Peko sent me, well, there we go. Fill in this membership form, put in silver, and we'll get you sorted. Okay, just fill in the details and we'll get you sorted. And you can thank Aaron Tan. He is responsible for getting you a silver membership. The gift is always bronze, but I always bump up gifts to silver. I like it that other people want to support the community by gifting others. Of course, it helps the channel, but it also helps the community, which I think is very cool. So thanks, Aaron. Very, very kind of you. Appreciate it, man. Paying it forward. Cheers. Thanks, man. So yeah, guys, fill in the form. and we're going to get you sorted. So that was a very long answer, but let me go through it quick. I got to quit, guys. Got to go. Yeah. Maybe Jouke, post some pictures in the general chat in Discord. See what happens. MT, what's up? How are you doing? Good to have you here. Does Elliott wave work well on USDT? Dominance. The dominance chart is a percentage chart. You can't go above 100. You can't go below 0. So it's not as effective because you can never get a bigger impulse. So generally what you see is that you have five waves up in a bull market on the Bitcoin dominance and 3 waves down. And 5 waves up, 3 waves down, 5 waves up, and you go sideways, right? It's a range between 100 and 0. Yeah, we already did the analysis, but I'll put timestamps in. I forgot to add it here in the pinned comment, so sorry for that. Marcin, what's up? 1212 from the top on ETH, like the very top. In that case, on ETH, that's low probabilities. If we're talking about like the top, like from this top, I already spoke about that one. From this one, 1 2 1 2, that's invalidated, of course, because we took this high. But also this being a 1 2 and a 3 is no, that's not a count I look for. Currently there's no double 1 2s high probabilities for the bears, at least. That is on ETH. Yeah. Koens, do you always need a 5-wave structure for wave 3? Yes. And it can't be a diagonal, right? It has to be a clean 1 2 3 4 5-wave structure. Unless in a diagonal you can have a zigzag 5 3 5. But wave 3 cannot by itself be a diagonal. You can't have a wave 1 2 and then have this and then this. You can't have this as a wave 3 and then 1 2 3 4 and then 5. That's not possible. Wave 3 has to be a 5-wave structure, or in a leading diagonal it can be a zigzag or a double zigzag. I will check Discord later. Suffocated. Nice to see you here again. Do you have any plans for updating gold? I did gold on the yearly, monthly, weekly chart and the daily, so it doesn't change very quick. But yeah, I might have a look at a later stage again. Yeah. How is it possible you only have 13k subs? Samuel, mate. You've been there already for a very long time as well, hey Samuel? I don't even know how long you've been hanging out here, really. Maybe you're able to see when you sub, but look. First of all, I never expected 100 subs. I never expected 1,000. I never expected 2,000, 5,000, 10,000, 13,000. Like, what's happening to the YouTube channel is a complete surprise, and I ride the wave. I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know where we are going to be, but I try to serve you the best way I can, give you as much information, answer the questions, provide the content online, Elliott Wave playlist with all the information, altcoin stream. We will do more educational content videos, by the way. I will do more educational videos to come, right? But look, I don't really look at the number. I look at at what you guys say, and if you guys are happy, I'm happy, right? If people have feedback, then please provide constructive feedback, right? Because the channel has improved a lot since the very beginning based on your feedback, with regards to providing probabilities and using fibs with prices instead of just the fibs without the price. So like I'm always open to that, but I don't really tend to look too much at the number. I just want to help the people that are here, help them the best way I can. Cheers, Samuel. Tortuga, welcome. Manuel, how you doing? You will get yeah, we'll see. First you have to be discovered, but 50k would be an insane number. Probably not this year, but maybe next year or the year after. Just I don't really look at the number too much, but I do want to have a numeric goal, so that I have to think about, okay, what do I need to change and improve to reach it? But on a daily basis, I don't really look at the number. Yeah. Thanks again, Erhan. Like, absolutely incredible. Cheers, man. Supporting the channel, supporting everyone here. Artists, welcome. Silver, it's short-term updates. It's so in Silver during the day, I update everyone if stuff happens on the chart, but also in the morning. There was on the morning. In the morning, I always write a whole like summary. This morning was relatively short, but I always in the morning also provide it in text and with the pictures, and in the pictures based on feedback. That's an improvement. I also write stuff here. Right, and then I write the probabilities, and if stuff happens during the day or I have certain thoughts, I always update people here. So it's just this one. All right, so this is a bit more elaborate. So this was in the morning. I write everything down, but also so it's just short-term updates in between content, and in the morning I provide a full update, including the pictures and text in the pictures. So some people might not even watch the videos because this is enough. Like I know Flotty might not watch every video because the morning updates are very detailed. But most of them, of course, still watch the content. And then during the day, I update based on if there's new stuff happening. You can also read about it if you click the join button below the video. I do have to update the membership video though. Innovate it. And I actually want to innovate the memberships as well. Change some stuff. Yeah, get the repeater. Gotta go. My repeater is gonna be an issue. Thanks, Findorian. Appreciate it, man. Comments make me happy. Made a ticket. Corn could. It's fine. I mean, Arsenal. Honestly, we were also looking for. So if credit due and not due, we were looking here for a 1, 2, 3 or an ABC as the higher probability scenario, right? That at the time. Wait, where's? At the time, that was a higher probability scenario, right? ABC or 1, 2, 3. However, what we spoke about is we want to see proof of support. And this is, I guess, where I might be different compared to others, is the highest probability at the time was an ABC or 1, 2, 3 to take the high before maybe later the low. Of course, now we took the low. But what I think is different here compared to many other analysts is I explain what I want to see on the lower time frames to support price moving up. And I explain, hey, we have bearish CVDs all the time as we move down, right? Which is not bullish. So we're looking for price to move down again and probability still higher to move down. And if on the 15-minute, the probabilities are not higher to move up, but instead they're constantly higher to move down, of course, we are eventually, and then we took the low. So I always explain what I am looking for. I explain I want to see a bullish structure. I want to see bullish CVD, maybe levels flipped. I want to see 52.9 hit, right? Like I explain how probabilities change based on what happens. So for our, we were looking for an ABC or 1, 2, 3, but on the 15, the probabilities all the time were higher to move down because we didn't see any proof of support. Any bounce to the upside was countered with bearish CVDs. So on the 15, every range we got, probabilities were higher to move down, and then eventually you get this. So at no moment in time did we have a good range up with bullish CVDs, changing market structure and stuff. And I think that's what's different, I suppose, So I try to be as detailed as possible. I like to keep things simple, but it's not always easy because Elliott waves is still difficult material. But I try to make it as easy as possible for everyone. Carl, welcome. First time here. A lot to learn to catch up. Already joined Discord. Looks very balanced, methodical. Welcome, Carl. Thanks for being here. And welcome to the channel, and also welcome to Discord. It's a very active place, especially the Bitcoin Elliott Wave channel, as you'll see. Welcome. Happy to have you here. And if you have any questions, of course, ask. But I gotta move now. How can I download the Elliott Wave PDF? Not yet. This is a teaser. A lot to improve with the dotted lines here. Some of these will go away. We won't use the checks and the exclamation mark X. We're going to do that differently. This will be bold. some of the rules. I still have to add and change the rules. Jeroen did this. Still have to check it, double read it, and adjust it. So a lot to, but we first want to finish it, and then we'll be online. Leave a like, make the guy happy. Cheers, Thunderin. Okay, CVD indicator, that one will be public as well. But for now, I've been testing it for a little bit. It will be shared this week because I'm happy with how it works. With the latest update, I'm still talking to Mr. Friends, but yeah, and it also will be free. A lot is free here. This also will be free, but I will ask people to support the channel by registering with one of the partner links. It's a very small bit of support, but it would be appreciated. With all of the stuff that I put out there, it would be a little bit of a minimum thing. Would be nice, but yeah, it will probably be shared later this week. Should be this week, based on how it goes now. So yeah, Atram, please have a look at the analysis earlier. I will end the stream, but check the timestamp. Probably go to minute like 15 or 20 to start the analysis. Probabilities at the moment are higher to at least look for a leg up, right? ABC 1, 2, 3 is what we are looking for. Preferably, therefore, see a bit of a dip before continuation, because just moving up and up and up and seeing how much overlap this is, if we keep going like that, it starts to be arguably a little bit bearish. But we have bullish CVDs, and the probabilities are definitely there for this to be a temporary or potential low, but I would like to see from an Elliott wave point of view, would be nice to see a bit of a retracement. But yeah, check the analysis. Timestamps will come. How many waves up from the bottom so far in the smaller time frame? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is your bullish. Look for a retracement continuation. Bearish would be a zigzag family structure, WXY or WXY. But corrective structures are not easy to count. I did some live analysis earlier, so make sure to check it out. Do you ever do Elliott waves on Solana? No, I do. So yes, answer is yes, and we did it here recently, 2 days ago. It was the first analysis I did in the altcoin stream. Okay, I just quickly wanted to answer everything. Everyone, I gotta go, and I gotta eat my stroopwafel. Yo, got some Dutch nice like cookies, cookie. So I'm gonna enjoy my stroopwafel. I'm gonna get my Wi-Fi extender as well, which then will also motivate me to actually set up my desk in my office, because I'm in the living room now, just moved houses to another country. So I'll get the repeater. I'm gonna maybe tonight then set up my office, the desk there, and get them and eat my cookies. So thanks everyone for being here. And Erhan, thanks again for the 10 gifts. That's very kind of you, supporting the community and the channel as well. Hopefully you enjoyed the stream and the live analysis bit. I'm gonna put the timestamps in the live stream after I pick up the repeater that was delivered across the street. So I'll get that done. Mo crits at the end coming in hot as well. Welcome to Silver. Please fill in the membership form so we can get you sorted. Mo Chris is like, let me just become a member right at the end of the live stream. So he's ending, but he stays a little bit longer. Cheers, welcome. And guys, I gotta go, else I won't be able to pick up the repeater. That's gonna be a problem. So thanks for being here. Mo Crits, welcome to the team. I think Aaron earlier became a member as well. Gold at the very beginning and 10 gifts. Thanks, guys. I'll put an update online probably tonight, a video, and tomorrow, of course, we continue with a morning update. So